Chitra, myself, and a whole group of other people who are not actually registered students for the competition, but some people sitting in this room also who have been part of this collaboration for about 6 months, which is based at the Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education at TIFR in Mumbai. This is actually from the BST's museum. Is a sort of a depiction of what is, I would say, India's best bus network, to take it quite literally, and its coverage across the sort of island city and the suburbs of Greater Mumbai. And the BST really is a sort of a civic icon. The red bus, the double-decker, evokes a certain type of civic pride as well as nostalgia, and that's something that we're literally trying to build on by calling the project Chalo Best, which is both a tribute to the BST as well as something that's need not be reduced just to Mumbai. It could scale up to other cities, but quite literally it's the best way to get around. Here's the problem. The BST is a wonderful network. It has very frequent services. It's very reliable. It goes everywhere. It's got a great software, great hardware of bus stops, of routes, of AC buses, of all sorts of express services, but it's got terrible software. In a sense, in terms of conveying information to commuters about where to go, how to get there, it has an extremely antiquated, sort of hardware-centric approach that forces most urban commuters to adopt a kind of a rural mentality when it comes to sharing information about transportation and getting around. So its hardware is great, but its software sucks. I mean, these are typical sort of photos of the type of transit information that's put up on signboards inside of buses, and this is all you get at any given bus stop, is a set of numbers. We don't really know where they go. There's some notations about them. One is closed on Sunday, one has got specific timings, but we don't really know much more unless we ask someone. And here's the solution really. The solution's already sitting in our pockets. We've all got cell phones. Some of us have got smartphones. All of us know how to do SMS and things like that. And it's ubiquitous now in Indian cities. And particularly SMS being something that's universal to all mobile handsets, has emerged as a kind of a lingua franca in urban India. Whether you speak Hindi or Marathi or Gujarati or Tamil or English, you'll know how to SMS in a Roman script, whether it's in your own language or in English. So, the real problem that we're trying to address is to enhance the software of the BST. And when I say software, I don't just mean technology. I mean all of the software aspects of urban mobility and sort of communicating with people in public space. The kindness and patience of strangers who guide you to different places, and treating sort of bus stops and buses themselves as public spaces and social spaces. And we really feel that the transport network, which is a sort of physical infrastructure, has a virtual counterpart in the kind of social networks that people form while moving around in Mumbai. And most people spend several hours of the day moving around in Mumbai. So we're trying to address this crisis of mobility by transforming the wider culture. And technology is really only a means to an end. But for the past 6 months in our lab at TIFR, we've built working prototype apps, which you can actually, if you go to chalobest.in, there are links to all of them, to deliver the BST's official bus database through SMS, through simple queries over the web, by a very simple web interface that also works on mobile phones, and through a custom Android app which you can download and which I can also demo to people after this. Everything is free and open source software. We believe strongly in software as free speech. We believe that it's also the best model for scaling up and debugging and making our software better, and it's the foundation of our lab's work at TIFR. And of course the foundation is the public and open data which the BST has begun sharing with us as we've developed a very quick rapport with them. All of our technical work is documented on our wiki. This is an example of the SMS service. As I said, it's up and running. You could try it right now. You just send stop plus the name of the stop. You send bus plus the number, or you say from Dadar to Kolaba, or from any destination to any other destination. It'll give you the buses that go. And there's a very simple prototype that we've built. We've not done indirect routing on it yet, but we're working on that. It's easy to learn. Everybody knows how to use SMS, and everybody can use SMS. I mean, at any given bus stop, you're going to have at least several people who have got even a non-smartphone, a dumb phone in their pocket that can access the same database that you can also use over Android and the web. This is m.chalobest.in, which right now is our mobile navigation site, but which we hope to now develop through a sort of a crowdsourcing and public campaign approach to actually have one live web page per bus stop in Bombay, which becomes a kind of a virtual counterpart to the physical bus stop, and is a network web page which sends back feeds which can be linked on social networks like Twitter and Facebook, and also have one page for every route. So you can have monitoring, commenting. The BST itself will get a feedback loop the this way. And this is something they're actually quite excited about. And of course, you'll have certain features like being able to subscribe to a stop or to find out which buses are going there, if there are any breakdowns in services or changes in services, which happen every 3 to 4 months on the BEST. And most commuters are very, very poorly informed. In fact, they just revised their schedule now, and I found that there were 3 new AC buses that connected my house with other parts of Bombay. I only found out about it when I was on the street and I saw them. So this is kind of the sort of, it's bizarre how great their hardware is and how terrible their software is, but they're quite keen that we're now sort of trying to help them address this problem. This is a demo. You can actually, if you go to this URL, droid.chalobest.in, it wasn't working this morning when one of the jury members asked me. It's definitely working now. If you have an Android phone or tablet, you can go to that URL and it will download the app immediately and you can start playing around with it. And this is how it works. It's location aware. One of the things our team has actually done in the past 6 months is that we've actually collected the lat long points for about 3,000 of the total 6,000 bus stops in Bombay, and we've geo-referenced the BST's own database, and we're hoping to give that back to them. We've also transliterated all of the English names into Marathi and Gujarati, so we're planning to have a trilingual app. I mean, Devanagari also, so Hindi. We're doing other things in terms of annotating old colonial names, colloquial names, because every place in Bombay has got 3 names. The Android app also integrates with the OpenStreetMap project, which unlike Google Maps allows you to change the underlying base map and edit and upload any type of base map data that you want. So we're using it as a background right now, but we're actually doing more to integrate the BEST's own transport information into the OpenStreetMap project. So the third phase, sort of after the mobile apps, SMS, web, and Android, as well as the sort of the crowdsourcing website and social network that we want to build, is actually a marketing campaign, because this is what the BST actually needs. And we're seeing this as a way for the community to sort of claim their ownership and sort of reclaim their civic pride in the BST, which, as I said, it's 105 years old. It's one of the great icons of the city. And it's got its own sort of culture, right? The red bus and everything. This is a poster done by Chitra, one of our team members, who's an anthropologist and an illustrator. Her posters will also be put up, I think, tomorrow. If we win, I don't know, I haven't seen the posters around. But we have a number of different ways in which we're doing this: posters, stickers, placards, basically sort of creative and nifty print media that makes it really cool to take the bus. We've already designed some like BST heritage postcards with old tramway photos on it. And we're trying to build, again, on the sort of the soft dimensions, the social networks that already are there amongst commuters. So that's the sort of foundation on which we're building in order to sort of transform this culture of mobility, as I said. If I think I have 30 seconds. This is from the earlier presentation. This is one of the investments the BST has made under JNURM recently, was to put an LCD panel in almost every bus now in Bombay, which broadcasts mostly rubbish. It's advertising, it's old reruns of serials, it's Bollywood celebrity gossip, that type of thing. We think that we can actually utilize these spaces in the next phase of our project to convey useful transport information, live bus tracking, that type of thing. In our lab, we've also built LCD sort of connections to an onboard GPS device that can actually broadcast a live map location to a monitor like this, if they let us. Just to end, one of the things that BST has been trying to do over the years is sort of be more smart in terms of smart transit systems. I think they've learned from their failures. On the left-hand side here is the old smart card swiping system, which was rapidly introduced and then rapidly declined in usage. People started vandalizing them. Nobody actually used them properly because they didn't realize that crowded buses, you have to swipe once when you come in, swipe once you go out. Essentially, the system was designed by one of the general managers who really hated their labor unions and wanted to bypass the bus conductors. And effectively, it didn't work. And it's a wider lesson about technology deployment in India, which is that, because information and mobility and access to them is so unequal already, the idea that we can use machines or smart technology, what is a smart technology in India? People are smarter than most machines, and we know that. We are an oral culture, we work through word of mouth. That's how the BST continues to run. It's amazing how many uncles you'll find at a bus stop who will be willing to narrate to you 20 different bus lines from memory. It works that way. So if you see the handheld printer that now this guy's holding in his hand, it's been a great success actually, because it's an RFID thing. You can swipe your bus pass on it. I have my bus pass. It's a read-write device. It's also a ticket printer. But this actually empowers the conductor rather than trying to bypass him. And I think that's an important point generally about information technology in India, is that we need to work with people's social networks rather than trying to bypass them. So all the best. Bye.
Shashi Kapoor and Leela Naidu.